Hello and welcome back to TV 34 Multimedia Production and Fishing Detroit. This is Tony.
I'm Barbara.
And we are getting ready to get this season started. Hopefully tomorrow, the temperature is going to drop quite a bit. The day was nice, but we're going to go out hopefully in the morning and see if we can try to get lucky and see if we can get the 2026 fishing season started. I've seen a couple of pictures, a couple of friends that have already started catching stuff out on the island, so that's where we're going to be going. And we're going to get out there and see what we can do. So what are you thinking, Miss Barbara?
Well, I'm just keeping my fingers crossed because last year it was really slow. When we drove out on the island last time, there was a couple of low spots, and a couple of spots seemed like it was getting a little better because the water has been really low all of last year. So keeping our fingers crossed that the water is better and the fish are out there waiting to be caught, because we will let them go.
Yes, we do. We do catch and release. That's one of the things that we do. And mainly we do a lot of bass fishing more than anything. But if we catch pike, whatever we get, we catch and release. But hopefully this time the season just to be a little bit better than it was last year. The water level was extremely low. So hopefully that's going to be better this time around. And hopefully we'll just be able to get out there and start catching something early.
Yes, this if we do catch this weekend, it will be the earliest for me. Last year we caught on the last weekend of April, the 25th and the 26th of last year. So if we can catch tomorrow, that'll be a first. Yay! Putting it out there.
She's really hoping for tomorrow. And if you guys have been watching us, you know how she acts. So hopefully
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's gonna be all smiles, and especially if she catches something good, on the drive home, it's gonna be just like that right there. That's all you're gonna see. So
yes, I admit I'll be all smiles if I catch something.
We're just hoping that, we can get everything started. And a couple other friends of ours, they have some fishing events that they have going on, and they've already posted about a couple of events coming up first week of June. I think it's free fishing weekend, so they're going to be out on the island and everything. So we may go out there and try to help them out a little bit and just help the kids, so they can get out and try to enjoy fishing too. And just hopefully this time around, they'll be able to catch something, and so the fish will be biting a lot more than they were last year. So I know they struggled quite a bit last year. So hopefully it won't be the same way this time around.
Because we want the kids to enjoy the idea of fishing. I mean, yes, sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes you don't catch anything, but we want them to be interested in it. So it would be helpful if they could catch, something, even if it's a small perch or something.
Right. So we just want to, this will be actually officially the first time really going out, really trying, because we went out once just to toss out the lines just to see.
Right.
It was still cold.
Right.
It was still early. It was in March. I think, was it March? Yeah, I think it was still early March that we had went out. And they hadn't really started coming in because it was right now the walleye season is going hot. So
right.
I think that was when we were out there.
It was last weekend.
Was it last weekend?
It was the first weekend in April because it was after I came back from my trip.
Okay.
But they were busy doing the walleye. Mm-hmm. So the river was. Tony took some pictures of all the boats out in the river. Oh my gosh!
It was hundreds of boats out on the island. Hopefully, I can post a couple of those pictures.
It was a lot.
So you can see, but they were out there, and they're still going to be out there probably for the next 2 or 3 weeks because the walleye are really biting right now. So we're going to see if we can get out there and see. I may try to jig a little bit to see if I can try to get 1 or 2 walleye off of the riverfront, but most of the time they're out there on the boat, so they're out there a lot deeper, and they can really have a better chance of catching something. But we're gonna see what happens.
Yeah, we're usually on more of the internal lakes when it comes to Belle Isle, and even when we go down by the lighthouse, a lot of times we're still on the inner parts where the boats dock. That's why we catch mostly bass and pike.
Right.
But you know, sometimes it's just nice to catch.
Yeah, I have to post some of the other video, of her, when she doing her thing, and, the excitement behind it. And that's one of the things that I want to talk about is that, if you've never fished before, give it a try, because you just never know. And especially if you get you a good bite, you're going to enjoy it. You're going to like it. I don't want to say you're going to get hooked, but more than likely that's what's going to happen. And that's what happened with this one over here, because she was not into fishing at all or anything. And especially when we first met, and I just told her to just come hang out with me a little bit. And whenever you're ready to give it a try, just let me know. Hook up everything for you, rod and reel and combo, and see what happens. And see, the rest is history.
I think before I met him, I think the last time I fished, I was like 10 years old. And my older sister took my brother and I fishing. He was 5, I was 10, and I caught this little bitty fish. But hadn't fished really since then. But he's right, if you had asked me years ago, would I be this into fishing, I would have probably told you probably not. But it was something about it that, it did get me hooked, as he said. I think I started with maybe a couple of rods. I don't know. I'm about 8 or 9 right now. So, yeah, it's.
Yeah, because that was the other thing, too. It's like, first thing she said was, well, why do you need so many rods? It's like, well, you spending all this money, you get all these different rods. What's the purpose behind it? And after a while,
yes,
you start to understand the reason why.
You have to have one for the crankbait, the spinnerbait, the wacky worm, the jig, the frog. I know I'm forgetting the chatterbait. It's just nice to have them all, already hooked up, and you can change.
And that's the thing. It's easier to have multiple rods out where you got it already set up, as opposed to stopping, cutting the line, tying on a new bait. You just got it already set up. You just go grab it and you can toss it out and you're ready to go. So that makes a big difference. Saves you a lot of time as well.
Absolutely. Because you don't, and we say this all the time, you don't know what the fish are going to bite. You don't know what they're going to want to go after. So have a whole bunch so you can give them a choice.
Somebody's ready. I'm not going to say anything, but somebody is truly ready to get out there.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Because I'm going to tell y'all something.
Oh, Lord.
Today, it was initially started out in the beginning of the week. It was supposed to be nice on Saturday morning. It's supposed to be, because it was going to warm up Friday, and then Saturday is probably going to be in the 60s. And as the week went on, the weather started to change. This pattern came through, rain pattern, and so it was a storm supposedly overnight on Friday night, and it was going to go into Saturday morning with the raining and everything up until about noon. So she had already had a date planned with her girlfriends, to go out for lunch and everything. So I know she's thinking, it's raining good, so he can't go fishing this morning. He won't be the first to catch the first one. So see. But it did rain, so I didn't bother to go out. And I thought about going out a little bit later, because it did. The sun came out and everything, and it cleared up. But I decided not to. I said, I'll just wait. So we can go out there together, and we can see if we can officially get the season started with both of us out there and see what we can do.
I appreciate that. But I will say, last year there were times I did not go with him for different reasons. And, he would send me a picture, if he caught something. And there was unfortunately so many times when he didn't catch. He came home and I said, "You didn't send me nothing." He said, "No, nothing was biting." So we're really hoping that this season will be better, because we might have caught earlier last year than we normally did, but we didn't catch that much. We just
the
didn't.
quantity last year was not at all compared
Bad.
to what it's been in the past.
Right.
You know, a couple of spots that we normally go to, they were really hitting good. It was just dead. You know, they've cut down a lot of trees. They've moved a lot of trees. So there's no branches in the water or anything like that for the fish to sort of hang around. So that makes a difference too.
There were some areas where they let the grass overgrow.
Yeah.
And it was hard to get to some of the spots that we normally
Right.
fish. So it's like we have these things we felt like were going against us.
Right, right.
Either it was low water, grass and those small trees, bushes in the way, or no laydowns where we, sometimes fish would, kind of congregate.
Right.
So yeah,
And it almost seems like they were doing it on purpose, because normally they would cut the grass, but it seemed like they were trying to discourage people to come out and fish, because there's always a lot of people out there, but it just seemed a little weird for some reason. But
Right.
we're going to see what happened. We're going to try to get out there again. And like I said, hopefully tomorrow it's going to be a lot cooler. So
Yeah.
I think it's only supposed to be in the 40s or...
I think the high is supposed to be 50, but that's not going to be in the morning when we normally go.
Right.
So
yeah, we go out early, right at the crack of dawn, and try to get out there
we
around.
we've gone out at
7,
39,
8,
40 degrees.
Yeah.
We know how to bundle up.
Right.
Maybe not as much fun when you have to bundle up that much, but we have bundled up. So we kind of will play that by ear. It is early in the season. But it's and we noticed that when we went out last week and we were, throwing out here and there, we noticed they were also doing some construction on the island with some of the parking lots. So, it was kind of a little bit of a deterrent in that one area that we went to, but we find a way usually.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to
find a
see
way.
if they've done anything else
Right.
since we were out there.
Yeah.
So because a lot of people do go out and park in those spots to fish. So especially one particular spot that we go to.
Yeah.
So we'll see hopefully.
Because there's also a kayak launch
Yeah.
in that one area where they're digging up the parking lot. So it's not just the fishermen. I mean,
Right.
people in their kayaks. Who sometimes they fish in their kayaks, and sometimes they're just out there, paddling and having fun. So
And then too, by the time we get out there, because it's so early, it's not a lot of cars out there, so that'll give us a chance to park over on the side of the road if
right,
they
the
don't
lot
have
is
the
still
lot is still not paved. So
Right.
that might work out in our favor.
So we'll see. We're keeping our fingers crossed. So
Yep. We're going to see what happens, and we're going to get out there and just see if we can get the 2026 fishing season started. Any last words or comments before we wrap this particular segment up, since we don't have any fishing yet?
right. No, I'm just hoping that it's we just hope that it's
That's what we're going to be after right there.
the big bass. We're hoping that it'll be better than last season, because last season was extremely slow. And a couple years ago it was really good. So we're gonna see. Regardless, it's still nice being out there.
Yep.
By the water. So, but it would be nice to catch as well.
Right. And I just want to say, for you guys that are watching this, or anybody that's interested in hanging out with us fishing, let us know. We got plenty of gear. We got everything that you need. You don't need to bring anything, just yourself.
Right.
And if you want to learn how, we got everything that we need. We can show you how to get started and see if we can try to put you on some fish and see if you can catch something. But I guarantee you, if you do come along and hang out with us, even if you don't catch anything, you're going to have a lot of fun. So that's without a doubt. So if you think about it and you're interested in coming and hanging out with us, make sure you let us know, because we will be out there and we're going to try to get you out there along with us.
If I can do it, anybody can do it.
That's the goal right there. That's the goal.
Yes, that's the goal. The big bass.
So we're going to wrap it up with this particular segment, and we are going to get a couple of things packed up and ready for tomorrow. And of course, the car is already loaded with a couple of things.
Although he has to put some more of my rods back in the car.
Well, we probably won't be there that long tomorrow anyway, but we'll see.
No, but my crankbait needs to go in the car.
So
Before the grass gets too high, because the crankbait works better earlier in the season before the grass gets kind of crazy. So that's why we have so many rods, see, because other rods do better. The buzzbait will do better with the grass.
and by the way, that's the statistician.
Oh,
She keeps track of everything, you know. I do all the work on the back end, you know, tying
He
the
does.
lines and this
He
and
does.
everything, but she
He
keeps
does.
track of all the numbers and everything, so. And
because I'm trying to beat his numbers, that's why. Haven't been able to do that yet.
but it's all about having fun. That's what
Absolutely.
we do. We get out there and we have a lot of fun, and we want you to come along and join us. So stay tuned. Hopefully, after we push this video out, we'll have something tomorrow.
We actually caught.
We actually caught something. So we'll see. We'll have another video that we can bring to you and show, you know, how the season is getting started. So stay tuned to Fishing Detroit. If you like this, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, comment, let us know what you're doing, and hopefully we can meet you out on the island or downtown off the riverfront by the lighthouse, St. Aubin, by the boat dock area. We can meet up and we can get out there and just have some fun. So stay tuned, and most of all, if you get out there, keep those lines tight.